Hey everybody, welcome to the Goose Riot podcast. This is the Bad Movies Podcast, episode 2, and we've titled it Trust Us, You Don't Want to Get a Nose Job in Montana. My name's Tanner, and with me I have a couple of co-hosts this week.
Hi, my name is Chad, and I'm awesome as fuck.
I'm Zach.
I'm Todd.
Just to give you guys a little bit of warning, we will be spoiling the movie pretty heavily this week, but I wouldn't worry about it too much because it's an awful movie to begin with. We also might use some language that some might find inappropriate. Deal with it.
Fuck them.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, this is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen next to Solaris. I saw Left Behind this weekend, and it was very bad. And I would still rather watch Left Behind 20 times rather than watch this one more time. Because it was that fucking bad.
Yeah, easily one of the worst movies I have ever seen, and I saw the Hulk Hogan porno, so you know that's saying something.
I didn't see that. I've always wondered how was his form in that.
It was creepy and awkward, and reminded me of my uncle.
Uncle Mark. How long did it take? Like, how long was the porno?
I don't know.
Well, was it like one scene or multiple scenes?
I was really just making a joke here.
I'm just curious.
Now I'm down the hole, and I didn't.
I like to know. I like to know this sort of thing.
So that's some more material for us.
I'm curious about
Maybe.
girth.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Compared to Colin Farrell.
I don't know.
In
Come on.
size.
I didn't watch it. I was making a joke, and now I'm
fuck
in too
you.
deep. I
Fuck
wonder if
you.
the hair plugs go all the way down.
I don't know. You should have watched it and you could have told us.
Yeah, well,
Fucker.
it's the internet. It's out there.
Anyways, on to the movie.
Okay, on to the movie. We watched Vampire Academy. It was freaking awful. The main star in it was Zoe
Deutsch.
Deutsch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the language in the country.
She,
Deutschland.
It's Leah Thompson's daughter.
yeah. She played the character of Rose, which was like a half vampire guardian.
Damphir.
To a real vampire. It's a whole weird world they've got set up going on in these movies.
Yeah, basically there's 3 different classes of character in this movie. There's the Damphir, which are the protectors. They're like half vampire, half human, I guess. Then there's the Moroi, which are the good, like, ruling class vampires. And then there's the Strigoi, which are the bad vampires. They can't come out at night and everything like that. But the other vampires don't have a problem with daytime or with light. You know, it's just annoying to them.
Yeah. This movie felt like a cross between Harry Potter, Twilight, and every other thing a 12-year-old girl wants to watch.
It felt like a piece of dog shit to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would rather watch Twilight 200 times than watch this movie.
Easily.
I've never seen Twilight,
Yeah.
but I guarantee that it's not as bad as this.
Yeah. I kept falling halfway asleep during this movie because it was so freaking boring, and every time I started falling asleep, they'd show enough cleavage to wake me back up.
Yeah.
Because the main character was pretty hot.
She was Rose. Rose was very attractive.
Well, the problem is she was very attractive, and Sarah Hyland from Modern Family is also in this movie, and she's very attractive, even though they tried to make her not really attractive. They tried to make her more homely.
Didn't work.
That was
But yeah,
the
she's
chick
still-
from Modern Family.
she's
That just
still
clicked for me.
Extremely attractive.
Yeah.
But other than that, there are not a lot of attractive people in this movie.
No.
The princess kind of reminded me of Iggy Azalea and
She had a huge fucking mouth.
And
like
bitches from White Chicks.
It was gargantuan. Like, I don't think Hulk Hogan could have. Hulk Hogan would have had no problem fitting inside that.
Oh, God. So anyway, basically what happened in the movie, it started up, and there's the main character and the blonde chick,
Lisa.
Yeah, Lucy Fry had some sort of a weird bond where they could like feel each other's emotions and stuff. And
Well,
go ahead.
It was a one-way bond. Like the Damphir girl, Rose, could feel Lisa's emotions and see things that she was seeing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it never led to them making out, which really, that's where I hoped that was
It
going.
got pretty close because they went at the beginning of the movie. It started out they were hiding from the Vampire Academy. I guess they escaped from the academy and they were in this like hovel, so to speak, kind of held up.
Yeah.
And they were basically feeding. The vampire was feeding off of the half human, half vampire. And supposedly something with that must have given them their bond. I don't know. It was a dumb fucking concept, dumb fucking movie. But
Well, and that concept was flawed because her parents were one of her parents was a Damphir, which was supposed to be a half vampire, and the other one was full vampire.
Right.
So it's much more
She was
than
quarter
half
human.
vampire.
Yeah.
But then once you go down the line, you get barely any human in there.
Yeah, it was dumb. But basically, from that point, they had these guys coming to take them back. They were basically, they saw them coming out the window, coming to take them back to the Vampire Academy, which they didn't really explain. I guess they did because she was royalty. The Lissa or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
Lysa. She was royalty, and she needed to be protected. They felt like her not being a Vampire Academy was a problem, so they went and got them back, and that's where you're introduced to the character Dimitri,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
Rose,
fucking guy.
Rose's love interest. He is a man of 100 accents.
Yeah, his accent changed from, what was it, Scottish and
3 times we'll say in one sentence.
Most of the time, it was some sort of Russian accent.
yeah.
But there was at one point where it switched to Irish.
Yeah. It was
It was all over the
fantastic acting.
place. No.
He was also, in these movies that they're kind of geared towards young girls. And like Twilight has all these guys with like abs and like cute looking guys. He was ugly as hell.
Taylor Lautner, bro.
I
wouldn't say that he was an ugly dude. He was just a.
There's no distinguishing features about
He
him.
looked really greasy.
He didn't
The
get Todd
hair.
rock solid.
No.
They didn't show his features at all because he was dressed like Neo the entire time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He looked like he was gonna go shoot up a high school in Colorado.
Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah. I mean,
Or a movie theater.
yeah. Or yeah. Pretty much.
We could keep going.
yeah.
Just keep on throwing out all those horrible shootings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the movie.
Yeah. So you're kind of towards the beginning when they're back at the school, they get taken back. They're getting in trouble and all this. You have your first introduction to kind of the bad guy. You don't know he's the bad guy at the time, but he's this creepy looking old dude, and it's pretty much like, oh, this is the bad guy. He's the one guy that looks creepy and old.
Before that, you get introduced to the Strigoi, the bad vampires, because on the way
Oh,
back,
that's right.
they get to the gates of the school, and these bad vampires just hop out of nowhere and decide they're going to fuck shit up. So they basically, attack the car, and then this guy Dimitri gets out and he gives them what for, like he.
In what is probably one of the least intense fight scenes of any movie. They were just, half of it was like, it was all focused on the girls that were sitting in the car as everyone else fought around them and you barely saw anything.
Another shitty thing that happened too was, well, I took it as kind of just stupid. Basically, he has tattoos on his neck of all the Strigoi that he kills, in the that he's killed. He has 6 of them, and he kills probably like 8 more at least.
In that
during
first
the span.
scene?
Yeah, well, he probably kills 4 in that first scene.
Yeah.
And he probably kills more than that, throughout the rest of the movie. But they don't ever make mention of the tattoos again.
Yeah. It's
Like
just
that's pretty much it.
yeah.
They do.
What did they say?
They
I
make,
don't-
they sh- at the very it's at the very end.
well,
They talk about it again.
You were probably asleep.
what did they
It's
say about it?
He just is talking to someone about the new tattoos that he's gotten, and it's because one of them is Rose's friend that he thinks she might be upset about it, so he puts his hair down to cover it.
They didn't have
That's
names though.
so lame.
How the fuck would she know?
That's
But it's
so
still
bad.
marks that.
Oh, you're talking about Sarah Hyland.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It still marks that he killed one of her friends.
Gotcha. Meh.
So when they're at the school, they go back to the school, and you figure out that everyone's kind of making fun of and hating on the Lysa, the princess chick, because she's weird. I never really understood why everyone hated her. I know she was like the ex of that one.
She was royalty.
dude. Yeah, but why would you hate that?
She was supposed to be popular before, but then it seems like everyone was making fun of her because of the bond she had with this other girl,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the fact that it's supposed to be forbidden for them to feed off of their guardian.
Yeah.
So it was wrong that she fed off of her the whole time and took care of her.
Yeah.
And that's why I called her a blood whore.
Yeah. Well, there's the whole like, it's the typical high school chick movie. Like, immediately as soon as they go back to the school, they start slut shaming the Rose chick, and they start making fun of the other. It's like, oh, no one understands my tribulations. I'm a high school girl.
Yeah.
It was freaking awful.
It normally is.
I'd prefer to watch Mean Girls.
It was a much better movie than this too, as far as that
It's
goes.
Lindsay Lohan in her prime, man.
Yeah. Basically, you know, part of their shaming is, I don't know if you just said this, I wasn't really paying attention to you. The dead fox.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
talking about
that's-
her being slutty.
That's more of the plot line than just the shaming, because
Yeah.
these guys say they had a threesome with Rose and they both fed off of her and all this other stuff they were lying about having sex with her.
Well, before that, though, Rose goes and meets up with this guy that she's trying to fuck, and he decides that he wants some food off of her, too. He wants to feed, nibble on that neck, and they don't. She decides at the last minute that it's weird, I guess, because of her bond now, because she doesn't want anyone but the other chick to feed off of her. And so basically from there, that's when they started telling the stories about her fucking the other two guys and let them feed off of her at the same time.
And it's right about then where you start seeing Lisa, whatever her name is, has some like different powers. Like there's a flashback where there's a dead bird and she brings it back to life, or a dying bird that she heals. You find out that it kind of hurts her when she does it, and you also learn after they start making fun of the girls that she can control people, like mind control.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like it wasn't True Blood, or any other vampire movie really, or show. They can compel them. They have the power to look at them and tell them what to do. It was weird though, because generally they can't really compel other vampires. It's normally only humans.
Yeah. So basically, she starts doing that once they start making fun of her and doing all that, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to be popular. I'm just going to start mind controlling everybody.
Real cunt move.
Yeah, it gets a little out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, she does all that because she's feeling threatened because of the villain, right? Because they start doing... That's kind of different from the shaming that they were doing.
Yeah.
Because...
that doesn't really...
Back to the villain, you kind of can tell that it's the villain, even though they don't
he's
tell
the
you it
only
is.
creepy-looking guy.
Well, because it's Gabriel Byrne, and he's the only famous person in the movie.
Yeah.
So, like, when they kind of bring him in and he has no part, you kind of see that he's going to be the villain.
You know what's about to happen, what's about to go down.
Plus, he looks like, the Emperor in Star Wars. He's like all old and like
Palpatine.
Right.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
he's supposed to be gravely ill,
Yeah.
terminally ill.
Yep.
So when all this stuff starts happening to Lisa, like they try and scare her with a dead fox and they kill her cat to try and
Like, bitch, you're a vampire.
try and prove that she can heal stuff.
If you're getting scared by a fucking dead fox, there's a fucking problem. You're the shittiest fucking vampire ever.
Well, and they're writing in blood all over the place.
Yeah,
Right,
It's
right.
like, lick that shit off the wall, bitch.
And
They're giving her a snack.
Exactly.
that's when she kind of starts compelling people because she thinks that her ex's new girlfriend is the one doing all this stuff to her.
Yeah, and she's partially right.
Come to find out, yes, she's partially right, like writing the stuff on the wall and stuff, and other, like, just the slut shaming and that stuff was being done by her, but the other stuff, like the dead fox and her dead cat, was just this villain trying to prove that she can heal things.
Yeah. And eventually I don't remember right when it happened, but they actually capture her. Like, they take her away to like this mansion off the school grounds. It's the bad guy who like captures her, and he basically says, "You're gonna heal me."
I feel like we're really skipping a lot.
We are.
Yeah. Well, what else are we missing?
What else are we missing?
Yeah.
Like I said, this movie was just so bad.
Yeah, all the stuff in between isn't really that important.
Yeah, it's
like
just filler.
But that comes to another thing that happens with the villain. He arranges it so Rose gets hurt, so Lisa has to heal her, and that once she heals Rose, that's kind of when they kidnap her, and he tells her his plan that she has to heal him, and it turns out that eventually it would kill her to heal him all the way, and he's trying to do that so he can take his rightful place as the king of all vampires.
Like a boss.
So bad.
Yeah. It's really some of the shittiest story that I've heard in a very long time.
But throughout all this, Sarah Hyland
Sarah
befriends Rose and Lisa, and she is helping her father, who is Gabriel Byrne in the movie,
Yeah.
do all these bad things to them.
Yeah.
So what's another big plot twist is that Sarah Hyland is involved.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but so like they capture her, the Rose and her little love interest, Accent McGee, decide to go back in and get her
Dimitri.
back. Yeah, Dimitri. and they go in and start.
Yeah, you're skipping something again.
What are we skipping?
She gets charmed.
Oh yeah, the love charm.
He puts
Better
a love
fuck
charm
his nigga's brains out.
on her so that they'll start having sex.
Yeah, and that lasts about 30 seconds of her
That's
in her
about how long.
lingerie.
And-
That's about how long I'd last with her too.
And this is when he comes out with his Irish accent because he
Yeah.
after
me Lucky Charms.
after he rips her dress off and throws it in the fireplace, and they're kind of going at it, and
They didn't
I
get
guess
very far, but-
he realizes it and he rips the necklace that's the charm off of her,
Yeah, she's hot.
and that's when he comes out with his Irish accent.
So we realize shit's going down. Bitch has been charmed. Time to take action.
And Rose figures out where Lysa's at with their connection,
Yeah, yeah.
and they go to save her.
And it actually, those scenes surprised me because there was actually some production value there. Like, you know, they had the guy with the fire and everything, and the CGI dogs. Like, they spent money on this.
Yes.
Like, this was
Too
not
much.
this was not a cheaply produced thing. Like, they were actually trying, which makes it a lot sadder.
It might. It might
Yeah.
make it a little bit sadder. But Dimitri and Rose finally stop Gabriel Byrne from the kidnapping, and they take him into custody, and he's in jail, and Rose goes down to talk to him about, I don't even know what the purpose was of it, but it turns out all the guards get killed by Sarah Hyland because she turns herself into Strigoi so she can be more powerful and help her father. And the movie kind of ends on that note with Rose and Dimitri fighting Sarah Hyland and having to kill her, and that's what we were talking about earlier, how he got the tattoo on the back of his neck of Sarah for killing Sarah Hyland.
Yeah, but that sadly, I wish the movie ended right there. It doesn't. It
No.
sets up a sequel.
It does.
A little too obviously sets up a sequel. It goes back to all the bad vampires in a cave waiting to attack.
Well, it goes back. We didn't really talk, but her mentor, Lysa's mentor, in the whole movie, they found out that she basically got turned into a Strigoi. And at the end, you see her in the cave, getting ready, plotting to do whatever it is that bitch is about to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were hoping to make another one.
Overall, yeah, that would be poor choice on their part. But then again, like I said, this movie made opening weekend. It made $4 million,
It made significantly more than Bad Milo,
which is
what we watched last week.
much
but
better movie.
It was more entertaining, at least.
It was
what was
all
more
o-
entertaining? Bad
Bad
Milo.
Milo.
Bad Milo
Okay.
was an all-around better movie.
Yeah, total. So this movie on Rotten Tomatoes did 9%?
9%.
Critic, yeah.
Yeah, 9% critic and 59% audience.
What the fuck is wrong with Rotten Tomatoes audience that they would give it a 59%?
I think it's composed mostly of middle school girls.
I don't even know why they would like this movie though. This movie sucked dick.
This movie understands them.
I
Their
guess.
parents don't.
They just wish they had a vampire girlfriend that they could feed off of or let feed off of them. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking movie.
So what did you think, Chad?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as bad movies go,
As far as bad movies go,
this is one of the worst bad movies that I've ever seen.
now you said Bad Milo would have been like a 7,
Like a 7 for me
or
as
an
far
8
as
out
bad
of-
movies go. Yeah, this would be a 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I'll give it a 2 because Solaris is still the worst movie I've ever seen. So this is right above Solaris.
Wow. That's strong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I couldn't even find it entertaining. Like I wanted to talk through the whole movie because it sucked that much dick.
Where would you put it in relation to AI?
AI.
Yeah.
I don't remember AI enough to rate that.
All right, fair enough.
I enjoyed this movie more than everyone here. I mean, I just found some of the dialogue entertaining, even though it was awful. I'm not saying it was good.
That's actually where our tagline comes from.
Yeah, what were some of the quotes
me,
you liked?
you go ahead.
Yeah, trust me, you don't want to get a nose job in Montana. And at the beginning, when she sees her dream, she asks why she can't be a normal teenager and dream of hot guys on unicorns, and just it's a lot of really awful things they say, but I found some of them entertaining.
All right. So
So I would give this probably 4.5 decapitated unicorns.
What did you give Bad Milo last week?
7 or
Okay.
8, 7 or 8.
I don't remember.
All right. 4.5.
Yeah, I enjoyed it much more than anyone here.
That's true. You're very generous.
What about you, Todd?
Yeah, it was pretty awful. I was kind of wanting it to do okay since it was directed by the guy who did Mean Girls, which is actually a pretty decent movie. I don't know, whatever. But I think it failed.
It's a word that I can't say that I want to say. Go ahead, Todd.
Anyways, yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm gonna go 3,
A 3.
and that might be generous.
That's way too generous.
Yeah, I would give it a 2, and it's a 2 only because of the cleavage
I'm going to be honest
that I
with
saw
you.
occasionally.
Sarah Hyland helped.
Yeah, she was the
Yeah.
only redeeming part of this movie. I'm going to be honest with you. I would, even for this podcast, I would never review the sequel.
No.
Just because I don't ever want to sit through anything related to Vampire Academy ever again in my life.
No.
I about the attractive girls part. There's Sarah Hyland, but I thought Zoe Deutsch was very attractive.
Oh,
She
yeah,
was,
yeah,
she
she
was
was hot.
too, but I would rather see Sarah Hyland get fisted than her.
Really? That's where you go with that.
Where else am I going to go?
I would kind of hope for seeing them both get fisted at the same time.
The same guy, one hand in, one
one-
hand in each.
2 elbows deep.
He picks them up like they're puppets.
Oh,
Wow, too far.
taking it to a dark spot. All
It's
right.
the only place to take it.
Well, I would probably give it a 2. I never want to watch it again, ever. It was awful and a waste of my time. And if we hadn't already committed to it, I would have wanted to watch something else for this podcast this week.
We can't only watch movies that we enjoy.
I like good bad movies.
Well, hopefully one day people will listen to this podcast and they'll suggest movies that they would like for us to review.
yeah,
Because we don't have any problems with that, you know?
Yeah,
we
it's true.
just need that to happen.
yeah. So let's talk about movies from last week. Last week we talked about a couple movies that were coming out.
Yes.
We already kind of mentioned Left Behind, which was the Nick Cage movie.
It was awful, but it was amazingly awful.
Well, see, we kind of differ on this one too, because I didn't feel as though it was amazingly awful as I would have liked. Because most of the things with Nick Cage in them that are amazingly awful are amazingly awful.
Yet
but
this movie that we just watched got a 4.5, but you're saying that
Left
Behind
it's
was
on
bad?
a different scale. And absolutely, it was probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Well,
Wow.
I say this because as far as Nick Cage movies go, this was the worst Nick Cage movie he's ever done.
Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Yeah, this was worse.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm excited.
It was very bad.
But it wasn't nearly as entertaining as most of his bad stuff.
Right.
Oh.
Exactly.
So it's bad just like this movie
It was- yeah,
bad.
it was,
It's bad.
honestly.
Hard to make fun of bad.
The story was bad. Everything was bad. Like I
fair
said,
enough.
I've read a couple of Left Behind books. Left Behind itself was the book was entertaining.
That was
Like, you know, I mean, it kept you entertained, kept you reading, you know, kept you wondering what was going to happen next. This movie did not do that at all. I was ready to leave the movie. I mean, it was that bad.
I looked at the clock 25 minutes in, and I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm going to sit through the rest
The
of this.
only
It was
thing-
very, very painful.
The only redeeming part about that movie was Chad Michael Murray.
I didn't feel as though he redeemed it at all. He was his normal self, where he just wasn't a very
he's
good
Chad
actor.
Michael
and
Mur-
he was just kind of there.
He's Chad Michael Murray, man. He's a lot of people's, you know, teen heartthrobs, you know. One Tree Hill, the end of Dawson's Creek.
You mean Pacey's Creek?
Fuck you. No, you're right. Like I said,
It was Pacey's Creek.
It's totally
Pacey got the girl.
it's totally Pacey's Creek. Like I said, I went back and I watched the show again recently. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I'm telling people
My
this.
opinion on you just
Yeah.
changed a little bit.
But I went back and watched it recently, and I agree. Dawson was a little fucking bitch. Like, after the first time around, I thought, yeah, Dawson got kind of dicked over. Second time, he deserved everything he got because he was a whiny little cocksucker.
And that is the change of age in you, my friend.
Yeah, apparently.
You're away from teen angst, and now it just makes sense a little bit to you. I get it.
Yep.
I kind of wish he would just stop slander beaking his name, though.
It's hard to
Slander beaking?
You can't stop slander beaking his name.
I love it. Okay, we talked briefly about Annabelle. Annabelle got a 32%.
we didn't see this
Rating?
one, and I truly do not plan on seeing
No,
it
I
ever.
think the only reason that it got 32% was because it was riding on The Conjuring's coattails. You know, overall it was probably a shitty movie. I can't make any judgments on that, but it doesn't seem like it did very well.
Yeah. And Gone Girl did good.
Gone Girl did get to see that this weekend too. That was pretty amazing. It was pretty awesome.
I'm going to see that in a couple of days. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Ben Affleck did an excellent job.
Yeah,
It
a lot
was-
of people said they were looking forward to him as Batman now after seeing the movie because he's like, his acting's improved. Like there was a couple years there where it was getting pretty rough.
I wouldn't go that far though, because it's completely like it was I thought it was a fantastic movie. They did a great job overall. It was a really, really good movie, but I don't necessarily think that would translate into a Batman role.
I think it's just he's recovered from Geely now and he's ready for serious acting again.
Well,
No, my favorite Ben Affleck movie still is Jersey Girl.
Good Will Hunting.
No, it's Jersey Girl.
Good Will
Totally.
Hunting. Come on.
That's the problem. Our favorite Ben Affleck movie is his first movie, and then he has this huge body of work in between that and his next good movie, which is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Affleck was the bomb in Phantom though.
Oh, he was the bomb in Phantom.
But yeah, it was a very well done movie, and I am 100% on board for Batfleck.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal.
Or awful. It could go either way.
Well,
I'm hoping it's good.
Hopefully a little better than Daredevil.
That's not hard.
Don't talk shit about Daredevil.
See, but
He was a blind superhero. I think that was him.
It's more.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay.
It was him. But that's more proof that
came
he
out-
was just absolutely awful in a superhero movie before.
It came out at the same time. Was it Elektra? I think I
It
get those.
came out a little before.
It was
and
right
kinda
around the same
led off
time.
To, who was Electra?
Jennifer Garner was
Yeah,
Electra.
yeah.
He was dating her at the time, wasn't he?
She was so hot.
Yes, he
Jennifer.
was.
Yeah.
What's she
Don't they
doing
have
now?
Kids together?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Fair enough.
What's Jennifer Garner doing now?
She's actually in a movie
Yeah.
coming out this week,
Yeah, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
which I will also
yeah.
Yeah.
will not be seeing.
This is pretty much the downfall. Looks like of Steve Carell's career. It's where he starts making these shit movies,
Yeah.
these family man movies. So,
just in it for a
because
check
honestly,
now.
what else has he been in lately that's been decent?
The
What was
Incredible
that?
Burt Wonderstone.
That was okay. It was entertaining. I'll give it that, but it wasn't because I wouldn't say it was because of him though.
He was in Anchorman 2
Steve-
recently, which I was disappointed in.
It wasn't awful.
I haven't
But
seen
I
it.
just was disappointed because
Yeah.
it's.
I almost think it was funnier than the first one.
No, you
absolutely
are
not.
wrong.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. The last thing I really liked Steve Carell in was Crazy Stupid Love.
That was
Yeah,
good.
that was
I
probably
enjoyed that movie.
the last decent movie that I saw him in.
He was in the movie with Tina Fey.
Yeah, that fucking date night or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
called.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't awful. It was
I didn't
mediocre.
even put in the effort to see it.
I started
Yeah,
watching
you
it
didn't miss
and
much.
I turned it off.
Yeah. So that's one movie that's coming out. I don't know. It'll probably do all right. I mean, it
it-
looks kind of kid
Well,
friendly.
it's based off
It
of those
is-
kids' books.
Yeah.
Kids love those books. Parents love those books for their kids.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll do okay.
It's definitely not directed towards us.
No.
It's got that Disney tag on it.
Oh, did Disney make it?
Yeah.
It'll probably do fine then.
Yeah, it'll do fine.
Dracula Untold's coming out this week.
That one looks really hit or miss. Like it could be decent because it's just a new telling of the same old story.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times the Dracula story's been retold, but
Well, this
yeah,
time it's untold.
It's untold. Exactly.
Right. I don't know how you make a Dracula movie without telling his story, but that's neither here nor there.
It's 2 hours of a guy sitting there not telling you anything. You're just watching him.
Yeah. I'll watch it. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it, but
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it.
I don't know if
I'm
I wanna
rooting
pay to
for
watch
it.
Oh no, I'll definitely won't pay to watch it. Not in the theater.
Yeah. Unless I hear great things. If I hear great things, I'll go see it.
I probably still won't.
Fair enough.
I'm honestly never excited about Dracula stories.
Yeah.
What I don't remember the last Dracula story that came out.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
No, Tom Cruise. I don't remember.
Interview
who it
with
was.
the Vampire?
the last one
Blade.
the last one I remember is Van Helsing.
Yeah. With
Kate Beckinsale.
Hugh
Yeah,
Jackman.
Jackman.
with Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale. I'm a huge Kate Beckinsale fan, but that movie just
I'm a big
did
Hugh
not.
Jackman fan.
that
Like
did not do it for me.
2004.
Yeah. Something like 2004.
Yeah, it was around that time. But also coming out, Addicted.
Yeah. Addicted.
We watched this trailer and I just couldn't take it seriously.
No. It was basically some Ebony and Ivory stuff going on.
It's about lady sex addiction.
Right.
It's based on a book by a guy named Zane. I think it's a guy. I'm assuming it's a guy.
He's got one name. I don't know.
Yeah, there's one name guys. They always throw me off, like Seal. I love Seal. Love what he's doing, but
What he was doing, I love.
yeah, that too. Where's her celebrity league?
Waiting.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
with Seal.
But yeah, it just didn't look good. It was a story, like you said, Ebony and Ivory, but that's kind of like the start of her shex addiction.
Yeah.
She has these fantasies about an artist that she's trying to sign, and then
A white artist.
and then it just kind of looks like she starts going buck wild.
Normally these days, I would say the race doesn't really matter. Like you wouldn't really single out, white and black anymore when you talk about stuff like this.
But he's like literally,
But you kind of have to in this case because that's what the movie's about.
right, and he's literally the only white person in the movie.
Yeah, chocolate and vanilla.
Yeah.
But the one movie that's coming out that looks pretty good is The Judge.
Yeah. It's Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Duvall, Billy Bob Thornton, Vera Farmiga,
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio. It's a pretty huge cast.
Gomer fucking Pyle.
Yep, Gomer Pyle.
Billy
And-
Bob's looking good too.
Yes, he is. He always does
Well,
that.
he's got to be like what, 60? I mean, he's old.
I think he's probably early 60s.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
But that one's about a son that goes back to help his. What is it? His mother dies and he goes back to his hometown for it, and it turns out that his dad, who has been a judge for 40 years, ran over this guy that he accidentally let go, and they know that he murdered someone. And
I thought it was his mom or something that he murdered.
no, I don't think so.
No,
It was some dude that he let go, and then it sort of looks like it's about their fractured relationship and him possibly defending him in court, and it's also about his relationship with Vera Farmiga. It might be a little complicated, but it looks decent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It will watch it do absolutely nothing in theaters. Like I don't think they've plugged it very hard, have they?
That was the first I'd heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first I heard of it was when I looked up upcoming movies and I saw that it was coming out.
Yeah. So unless word of mouth really does a lot for it, it probably won't be out for too long in theaters.
No, probably not.
We'll see. It looks decent. Other news: The Rock is going to be in.
Woo!
The Rock is going to be in the Baywatch reboot, which I am extremely excited about.
Are they doing a show or a movie?
A movie.
A movie.
Yeah.
Is he playing the Hasselhoff's part?
Yes, he is.
Of course he is.
I'm actually more excited about them doing a movie than I would be about a show, because I think if they did a show, it would be absolutely horrible.
Nope. I'd watch the shit out of it.
I would
with The Rock.
watch it. I would watch it, but it would not. I don't think it would be good. I think it has a better chance of being good if they're just doing a movie.
Silverback gorilla.
But it also makes me wonder what women are going to be in it.
Yeah. Who would you put in that? I don't know.
I can think of a few.
You can?
Go
Well,
for
it
it.
had to be Scarlett Johansson. I
Oh.
feel like she would fit that part perfectly.
She would, but she probably won't be in it.
No,
Yeah.
probably not. Giant tits, bathing suit. Like she just fits the part look wise. Who else?
No matter what, I'm pretty sure The Rock's going to have the biggest hits in the movie. I mean, let's be honest here.
Why?
Have you seen that man's pecs? They are
They're
giant,
massive.
and I bet they're going to be swinging in slow motion.
He'd use them to squeeze your face in for calling them tits.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
probably could. He's huge.
Yeah,
That is a scary man.
yeah. He could definitely crush your head with his thighs. Like I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, you're probably
No,
right.
have you seen it? His fucking thighs are ridiculous. I follow him on Instagram,
You
and he
spend
posts
a lot of time looking
I
at
follow
this
him on
man.
Instagram. He posts a lot of gym pics, bro.
We ask what women are going to be in it, and all we can talk about is The Rock's body.
Do you count that as your weekly exercise? Watching through The Rock's Instagram
Yeah.
gym
Oh, yeah.
pics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he goes to the gym, so I don't have to. He's my personal savior. He lives for me, so I don't have to.
Gosh. So speaking of celebrities, if you had to pick one celebrity that you want to fight that you might have a chance of taking, who do you think you'd pick?
Oh, Jonah Hill, totally. I'd beat the shit out of Jonah Hill. I mean, I don't have a problem with Jonah Hill, but I could totally take Jonah Hill.
You
I mean,
think he could?
yeah, because he's fat again now. So like,
Is he back to fat?
yeah, he's
lost some
pretty
weight for
he's
a
pretty
while.
close to back to fat. I think
All right.
he got real skinny. Well, not real skinny, but real skinny for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's back up on that. But yeah, it would be a pretty epic fight. But I think I got it.
He's
I'll take it.
I'd pay to watch.
I played dirty too.
he's not like he was in like 40-Year-Old Virgin.
No.
Oh, also, I rewatched I Heart Huckabees this week, and I realized that he was in that movie.
Really?
Very, very young.
So
Yeah.
Just a very small spot.
He's been on a lot of stuff.
But
Like-
I think I would have to go for Kevin Bacon, because he can't even fake fight. Like you watch The Following, and he's just bad at fake fighting.
You haven't watched that other movie. What was that movie with him and John Goodman?
I have no idea.
Oh, what was the name of that fucking movie? I don't know. He kicked some serious fucking ass in that movie.
But he kicks ass and everything, but it's not because he's good at fake fighting. It's just because everyone lays down in front of him because that's what's supposed to happen.
Speaking of really bad fighting, tying back into Vampire Academy for a minute here. Did it seem like to you guys that every single fight action sequence was in slow motion? Like they didn't practice the choreography for it very well?
Well, I think it did, but not because they didn't practice it. It was more because it was more like a gymnastics routine, and they tried to make it really complicated. So it was more like not them fighting each other. It was one person like touching the other person, and then that person doing gymnastics around them.
Yeah, it was bad.
Right. But like it wasn't like they would punch someone and then the punch would affect them. They would punch someone, and then that would cue a gymnastics move for them to do, and they would do all
Fall
this
backwards.
fancy
Yeah.
stuff. But it wouldn't be just falling backwards. Like
Yeah.
there was one part at the beginning when they were fighting the Strigoi, and they were trying to like flip someone, and he just like touched his
Yeah.
arm, and then the dude did like a barrel roll.
Yeah. Well, Toddy, what would you say? Who would you fight?
Got to go with McLovin. I just feel that his acting is going downhill, and like I don't know.
What does that have to do with
And
fighting
you want to
him?
punch him?
I just
Wow.
every time I see him on the big screen, I just want to punch him in the head.
He'd fuck you up, bro.
I'm pretty
No.
sure he would.
Yeah.
McLovin.
Yeah, he'd headbutt you and you'd be dead.
I'm pretty sure Jonah Hill would probably be it too.
No. 100% sure he wouldn't.
100%.
100%.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
I could take him.
Okay.
Unless Channing Tatum's there.
Then it's over. What about you?
I would have to say, pretty boy from Looper.
Joseph.
You really have a hard time with his name.
JGL.
The guy's got he's one of those three name people.
Yeah, just three
it's like
name
no
one.
one just goes Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Levitt. It's always Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Why?
I feel
Third
like you
Rock
could
from the
just
Sun,
say,
bro.
I feel like you could just say Joseph Gordon-Levitt though.
Yeah, I
Started
forget
one of
a
the
lot.
greatest TV shows of all time, Third Rock from the Sun, with
Yeah.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, that's back when he had that greasy long hair.
He got extremely jacked for Don John though.
That was a great fucking movie.
That's why I want to beat him up. He's a pretty man.
Did you watch that movie?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of it?
I think that if I had the money and decided I wanted to put together a film, that I too would be.
You get to make out and fuck around with Scarlett Johansson, and
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the Julianne Moore casting in that movie though.
No.
That was kind of weird. Like, if you could pick one older woman, there's another hypothetical. If you could pick old woman to star in a movie with and fuck, who would you pick?
Betty White.
No, I'm being like serious. Like serious.
What age range are we looking
Marissa
at?
Tomei.
here? Because they're like Marissa Tomei, or
Diane
even,
Lane.
even
Those
Kate
are my two.
Beckinsale is older
Well, I'm
now,
talking-
but she's
I'm-
still extremely attractive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like the Julianne Moore age group, you know,
But
because that's who he picked.
I think that was supposed to be sort of the point of that character, though. She's not supposed to be super, super attractive.
I understand that, but I feel like he could have still done a lot better. Like, she was not super unattractive. I'm not a fan of the ginger, pale face freckle thing.
I am.
No, I
Yeah.
mean some of them, yes, not Julianne Moore.
Well,
No,
I kind of
not
agree with you. I'm not a huge
Yeah.
Julianne Moore fan,
Yeah.
but like I said, I think it's supposed to be the disparity. Like he had Scarlett Johansson,
Like-
and then he realized that he didn't give a shit about her because she was a stupid bitch and she wasn't interesting at all.
Who's the chick that played? Who's the chick that played in the third Back to the Future movie? She was the Doc's love interest in that movie.
Oh, I know
Michael
the
J.
one,
Fox.
the one who was in Step Brothers.
Yes,
I don't know her name.
yeah.
She was in the Proposal, and I agree with you.
that's my pick.
I would stuff her like a turkey.
Yeah, exactly. She's adorable.
Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah, Mary Steenburgen. That's her.
That's
Phrasing.
an interesting word.
Phrasing.
We go from stuffing like a turkey to adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I would put my fist inside of her like Sarah Hyland or Zoe Deutsch, but she's up there.
That just. We need to work on wording
What,
here.
what about you, Tanner? Who did you say? Or did you already say?
If we're going older, Courtney Cox, is she old
No.
now? I would
You
count
seen
her as
Cougar
old.
Town?
I don't count Courtney Cox as old enough for that. She's too hot. I'm not talking about super hot. I'm talking about like homely, like the mom type.
Well, now that I heard yours, I'd probably go with her.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to be interesting here. Honestly, they any woman over 50, maybe 60, they don't exist to me. They don't stick. I got nothing.
I don't think she was supposed to be. I don't think she was supposed to seem that old. I think she
Right,
was supposed
yeah.
to seem in her 40s.
Well, she did. She did. I mean, she played the part well because she was, smoking pot with him and fucking him in his car in between classes. I mean,
Yeah,
she got the job done. So
that movie was weird.
it was a weird movie. I mean, he did a very good job for it being what I think it was the first movie that he wrote
Yeah.
and directed.
Yeah, it was.
Like he did an awesome job. Like I was very impressed with it. And Scarlett Johansson was hot. Everything but the accent.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that-
accent was
Hate that fucking accent.
turn off.
Yeah, I'm not.
No,
not huge
I
on
mean-
that accent.
Still
Yeah.
jam that fist in, but
Yeah,
no. Yeah.
but yeah, I would definitely if I had to pick someone to fight, I'm pretty sure I could take him, and he's too pretty.
I don't know if you can take. Him.
I think I
Joseph
got him.
Gordon-Levitt would fuck you up, bro.
yeah, I don't know about
He's
that.
a little guy.
He'd fuck you
He's
up.
a little guy. I think I
He
got him.
was jacked in that movie.
Yeah.
He's
I'll
probably
give you,
still a little jacked.
I'll give you Justin Long. I'm not giving you Joseph Gordon-Levitt
What
though.
about Justin Timberlake?
No, he'd fuck you up too.
Yes, he would.
That's
He'd
Sax
sing
Boo.
to you. He'd put you to sleep with his singing because it's so beautiful.
I don't think he'd have
Like,
to. I'm
he'd
pretty
be
sure
like-
he could take me.
He'd come cock slap you.
I
like
would let
fucking
him beat the
snort.
crap out of me if he'd put that denim jacket and jeans on that he's got that picture of him and Brittany
NSYNC.
with.
Yeah.
Took in a box.
Do you need a minute?
I might. So anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up?
Well, no, that's
Well,
pretty much it for
we,
me.
We can talk about Netflix, I guess.
Okay.
Netflix is starting.
Adam Sandler thing?
Yeah, well, multiple things. They're actually starting movies as opposed to just original TV shows. So I think it's at least interesting because they signed Adam Sandler to a 4-movie deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon sequel. I know you guys aren't as excited about that as
No.
I am because of the whole subtitles thing, and
I don't
you
like
guys
to
are
read.
illiterate. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Why don't they just overdub like the Chinese do with our things?
I see. That's where I can't stand when they dub over movies, but I'm sure there will be a dub version of it because
Yeah,
they do that eventually
probably.
for all martial arts movies. But I just think it's really interesting because they're also talking about releasing them on IMAX, but a bunch of the theater companies aren't going to show it because of the fact that it's going to be on Netflix, and they're not going to let them show it in the regular movie theaters or
There's
whatever.
no point because
Right.
they're losing tons of money that way.
Yeah, people will just be watching online.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean it's just interesting because it could mark like a whole new era for movies because they're just bypassing that completely, and it's not they're not normal straight to DVD or straight to video movies.
Yeah, they might
They're
have some
actually supposed to
quality.
be big productions of things that have actually made money before.
Adam Sandler's a strong choice.
Yeah.
Not necessarily good strong.
Right,
It's
because-
just, it's a strong choice.
Because he hasn't put out a good movie since like Big Daddy.
I liked.
Even that was
No, I actually liked that movie with him and Seth Rogen. I can't remember what it's called. Happy People. Was it? Happy
Funny
Funny
People.
People.
Funny People.
That movie. I loved the first movie and the second movie that came after, immediately after. You know, they showed them together for some reason.
Yeah.
But the first one was all stand up, which was funny. And then the second one was sad, and it was about a depressed guy with cancer.
It's like 50-50. I love 50-50. That movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen.
I
You
didn't
see
haven't
it.
seen it?
Didn't see it.
I
You
enjoyed
should watch
that.
it.
I enjoyed that movie a lot more than Funny People.
I did too. But I mean,
Fun-
as far as Adam Sandler goes, though, that was probably the better movie that I've seen of his in the last 10 years.
Well,
Yeah.
Funny People for me was about Aziz Ansari. I thought he was hilarious. in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
He
movie.
was. He
But
was
I-
very funny.
I didn't think Seth Rogen or Adam Sandler were particularly funny in that movie, which is ironic because it is called Funny People.
Yeah. I thought it was good up until the cancer. It's like, why ruin it? Let's just stop it here.
That's the premise
Roll
of the
the
movie.
credits. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So
Speaking of Netflix, the movie we are watching next week is going to be on Netflix, or is on Netflix right now. It's called Rubber. It is about a tire that comes to life and discovers it has telepathic powers and starts to blow up people, animals, objects, all sorts of stuff until it finds a girl he really wants to love. It's going to be hopefully fantastic. I've heard good things.
I don't know how it could be bad.
Yeah, no, not with a plot like that.
No,
That would be
it's
better
gotta
than the
be-
piece of shit we just watched this week.
It's got to be fantastic.
Yeah. So looking forward to watching that. If you guys would like to, you can comment on our Facebook, our website, and we'll go through all of that crap. But we want to hear, what you think about the movies we're watching and what you think about what we're going to watch next week.
yeah. Also, if you could, give us an idea on our hypotheticals, like what celebrity do you think you could fight and beat up, and why? I don't want to sound like homework, but fuck, do your jobs.
Yeah.
Or if you know any movies that you would like us to watch.
Yeah. We have a couple that we want to watch, but we're always looking for stuff that's better than Vampire Academy.
But yeah, you
Shouldn't
guys
be too hard.
You guys can check us out at gooseriot.com. We're on the internets, so
Yep. We have Facebook.com/Goose Riot, YouTube.com/Goose Riot, Twitter.com/Goose Riot. Really, for some reason, Goose Riot was not taken on any of these social networks, so
Yeah.
we hopped on.
it's really strange. And if for some reason you're not listening to us on iTunes, you can check us out on iTunes. Just search for Goose Riot, and we're there. Also, we're on Reddit under reddit.com/r/Goose Riot. So we've pretty much got all the bases covered.
We also made it on Stitcher. We're on
Yep.
on the Stitcher app.
We're on Instagram too, Instagram.com/Goose Riot. I don't think there's anything posted on there, but should be there.
It's just going to be pictures of me shirtless.
Yeah, more or less. I'm not necessarily okay with that, but
No, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. So really, we want to hear from you guys. Feel free to comment and talk to us. We're happy to hear if anyone's listening. Anything else before we wrap up?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.